One of the frustrations of many non-politically connected people in Bayonne, such as myself, is that it's difficult to become more involved in the civic process and have a positive impact on the community. Would you make a promise to the public that you would replace existing board members on various city boards as they become available, such as the BLRA and the Board of Education, with people who are unconnected to any local politicians, who are not business associates, and whom do not currently hold jobs in city agencies or the city itself? In short, would you encourage honest, concerned citizens, such as the folks that are here involved with the public advocate, to have a greater role in Bayonne?
Just as I'm running for mayor?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same principle. Yeah. I'm an unconnected, politically unconnected, essentially, well-meaning, qualified person who wants to make the city better. I absolutely intend to put people on the various boards who don't have necessarily political connections. And there are some that will stay on boards that they're on, because there were some very competent, hardworking people who care very much about Bayonne on a lot of those boards. And I've known them for a very, very long time. And I can see a lot of them staying. There are others who are just, I don't know why they're there, except that they wanted to be on a board, they have a political connection, and there they are.
Right, and obviously I don't mean as an indictment of everybody on every board, but certainly when you do look at a lot of boards, there are a lot of dots that can be drawn in terms of who is who, you know. For the first time in Bayonne politics, the internet has become a campaigning tool. I don't know if you've been using or not.
I have a website, BobSloanForMayor.com.
All right. Unfortunately, the tone of conversation occurring on some of the internet discussion boards has turned towards the negative. I don't know how big your campaign is, or whether you have any surrogates who actually post to those forums. Do you read those forums? Do you have any folks that...
I haven't read too much on the forums. People in my family have caught a few comments and passed them along to me. If there's anybody posting stuff in my favor or negative to other candidates, I don't even really know about it.
Okay.
No one's said to me that they've posted anything criticizing anybody else or praising me for either, for that matter. But it is an interesting aspect to politics. I mean, this is going to be on the internet, and then the Jersey Journal editorial board debate, if you want to call it that, which was done a little while ago, is also going to be streamed on the internet as well. And I don't know if it's up yet or not.
Okay, I had been reading the written portions of that. I didn't know they were going to also stream that.
They did. They've been giving us questions on a weekly basis. Right. But they had us all together at a forum. It's similar to the Rotary, the Rotary debate that's been televised recently, and continues to be. But it's the same kind of thing, and it's coming on the internet.
Certainly,
it's the place to go.
Yeah, definitely. So finally, thank you so much for answering these questions. Are there any thoughts that you'd like to leave the citizens with?
I think. I mean, I've been with the city government for 33 years. I've been the city clerk, which is one of the better paying, I guess, director type jobs, for 30 years. So a lot of people think I have a vested interest in city government. The fact of the matter is I have tenure in city government, and which has, in my case, I think, accomplished what it's intended to accomplish, which is to give the office holder the independence to stand up to the administration when he thinks they're wrong. And I don't do that loudly and publicly, but I have cited examples of it in other areas and other forums where I have in fact criticized the way city government's been run. And sometimes I've had a positive effect, and sometimes I've been totally ignored. But I'm a taxpayer like everybody else. I care very much about the community. I want to see Bayonne become greener. I want to see us treat people more fairly. There was, and I don't know how it didn't become like a major blow up, but there was a renovation contract, which wasn't a contract, for the museum, the community museum down on 8th Street. They end up, I guess, paying this especially qualified painter $132,500 for renovations in the museum, when it never went out to bid. And it never had been awarded as a contract, but the guy did the work, and eventually they wound up paying him. We can't work that way.
Right.
And I've heard people,
and I remember that,
and I've heard people say to the mayor, "You can't do that. anymore. This is the new mayor,
Right.
Terrence Malloy, and no, we can't. And we have to comply with things like the Open Public Meetings Act, the Open Public Records Act, the bidding statutes, and I intend to do that. And I really think the people are capable of handling what's going on in Bayonne and understanding it and giving us maybe the little bit of slack we need to get things done and not have everything hidden from them, which seems for much too long to have been the attitude up at City Hall.
And as you may know or may not be aware, that is probably one of our main missions as the public advocate, is just to try and get some information out and open into the public. You know, we often post documents that we get through requests to your office and the Board of Education, et cetera, when we get a hold of them, just so people can review them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have no problem with the people trying to understand what's going on in the government that they're paying for.
Right.
And if they don't like what the politicians are doing, November 4th, they can do something about it. And then in May of 2010, they can do something about it again when the mayor and the entire city council are up for election again.
I agree. Bob Sloan, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Great.